Today we talk about automating our bees. I'm sure you guys are going to love that. Welcome, friends, to a new episode of Feed the Beast Ultimate Reloaded. We're back hanging out in a reloaded old school mod pack. I'm really excited. I am loving this mod pack. We've been spending a lot of time in it. I'm super excited. So, last episode we left off at the base, and we were talking about the bee breeding basics. So, some of you guys were asking whether or not we could talk about the automation. So, we'll talk about that today. But before we get to that, I want to kind of give you guys some updates. Oh, I have my armor off. I'm like, why am I not running fast? There we go. Zoom, zoom, zoom. I've been preparing for moving. So, I've taken out all of my bees. Yeah, I took them all out. I put them all in these item barrels. So, I think they're by Yaba. Or Yaba. Alright, so they're really easy to make. So you just need some wood and some slabs. And then I also made some of these because I can go get blaze rods. There's right inside the nether portal, there is a blaze spawner, which we're gonna turn into a farm at some point. But I just went and got some blaze rods and then made them extra dimensional. And the extra dimensional lets you hold up to 1,024 stacks of one item. So yeah, it's really cool. The other thing I noticed is, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed it, but if you look at these stuff straight on, and even at some of an angle, it looks really flat. But if you get really close, you can see it. There's actually like an indent, and it shows like almost like an item frame does. I noticed this the other day. I was standing next to a barrel and I looked down and I'm like, wait, that's recessed. It looks like there's texture to it. That's kind of cool, right? Like you can kind of see the bees like in a little frame or whatever the item is. It's neat, right? I thought it was kind of cool. Maybe you guys don't think it's as cool, but whatever. Let me get my drill. What have we been doing? So, or not my drill, my crescent hammer. We need to get all of our stuff back. So, yeah, I'm just going to pick up all of these, and then we'll go talk about how to automate these. You can kind of see the underlying notion anyways, but really the idea is using a item duct, and then with a filter, not a filter, but with a servo, and then pumping the bees out of the apiaries and then into the chest. And then you can also run these to other places, which we're going to take all that stuff there too. So I did some work at the farm as well, so we need to go check some stuff out. Oh, I also talked about it. You remember we were talking about frames, chocolate frames. We're going to grab some. Oops, don't right click. All right, we're gonna take 3 of those guys. There we go. And I pressed the R key. Shoot. I needed to get chocolate frames, which means we need to get cocoa beans. Well, I've upgraded my infinity drill. We'll talk about this later too, but it's a 7x7x1. Watch this. So if I hit this guy here, boom! Ah, it takes down the whole wall. How sweet is that? That is awesome. And then what I've been doing is just putting these up here. So yeah, it requires you to make, so get about a stack and a half from a fully populated board here. But yeah, I've been working on cocoa beans. But if you look at this, it requires an impregnated frame and cocoa beans, 4 cocoa beans to make the frames. And we've got a few. I don't have a lot because I haven't really ramped up my production of impregnated frames yet, but we'll get into that. But I wanted to show that to you. I also found, hang on, where is it? Here, uses, this guy. So apparently you can make an intricate circuit board, which we have over there already at our farm, but we can maybe take half of the wheat and make it half of a cocoa farm. We might think about that, or I might make a full additional one and just make cocoa beans farm out of it. But I saw that and I figured maybe we'll talk about that too. So I think that'll be fun because we're going to need to make a lot of these frames. And if you guys remember what we were talking about, you can take these frames and put them in an apiary right here, and it increases the genetic decay, so your bees actually go down faster. They breed faster, which is really nice. So, all right, we'll leave those 3 there. Let's, you know what? I'm gonna move all this stuff to my base, and then I'm gonna bring you guys back. Can I hold all of these at once? No, I can't. Shoot. I didn't think I could. Oh, that's why, because you, oh man. All right. Shoot. That's kind of all messed up now. Okay, I'm gonna get all this stuff moved, and then I'll bring you back when I've got it back at the base, because this is gonna be a little bit of a challenge to move, at least. Yeah, see, because now. Jeez. Okay, and did I get all the bees? No, not yet. Might help if I went to the front to take a look. It's a little goofy. There we go. Okay, we got them. Cool. Let's get this stuff over to the base, and we'll talk about it over there. All right, friends, we're back at our base. I cored all... Actually, I don't know if you've seen this yet. I cored all of this out. Maybe I said it in the last episode. I cannot remember. It's been a day or two since I've been screwing around. But I cored this all out, and oh, it's dark. So let's go sleep. Let's get the day back. But yeah, you can see some stuff. I've done some things. Here we go. So I created the big ring like I was saying I was going to. Now this is just an outline. It's not going to be that color or anything, but I have yet to decide what I'm going to build here, but you can kind of get an idea of how large it is going to be. It's going to be about that big. So we talked in the last episode that these are going to be moving away, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's get onto this automation stuff. You guys asked about it, so I moved all these down here. You can see we're kind of right underneath. I don't know if they're going to stay here. I just figured this was a good place for them to start with, which is perfect. So, I also have, I need to get my queens back. So I've got my apiarist backpack here that is full of all of my queens. All of my queens, and we're going to get them going today. So last episode we talked about how to breed bees, and the idea was to try to breed up your bees so that you get them to be common bees. Now we've got forests and meadows right here. They're kind of doing their thing, and this one we are trying to breed these to get to common bees, which is fine. So the other thing that we've done, so let's take this guy and we want to automate these. Now I only, when I do bee breeding, and some people have 2 different ways of doing this. Some people breed bees by automating them. So what they do is they'll put in a meadows and a forest, and then they'll automate it and let it run through its cycles until it does its own thing. I personally don't like doing that because you don't get to choose which bee goes back in, and it might take longer or less based on... Bro, I am trying to shoot a video here. You are rude. Now you're dead. That's funny. So I like to do it manually. By all means, you can breed your bees up using the automated method. I personally don't like it that way, but it's certainly a viable option. So, all right. Do we have? We do. Okay. I was just looking to see. So what you want to do is you want to get, the idea is to get a little L shape going. So take your item ducts and put one underneath one under there, and one there. So you get a little option like this. Okay, very cool. So you can kind of see that when they go out, they're going to come back in. Now, the other thing that you're going to need is a servo. So we can look these items up just so you can kind of see what it takes to make them. Wow. Item duct. And you don't need the crazy big ones. Just use the small ones for now. So you just need a piece of hardened glass and some tin, which is not too incredibly hard to make. But it takes a little bit. So you need a piece of pulverized platinum, some hardened glass, and some pyrotheum dust. So there you go. Wait, Invar dust? Did I choose the wrong ones? Oh, yeah, you just need regular hardened glass. So you don't need the crazy stuff. So pyrotheum dust, which is just a blaze powder, some sulfur, and redstone, some obsidian dust, and some lead. It doesn't take a lot to make. So they're not super hard. So if you've gotten blazes already, you're good. Oh, and then we can see how to make a servo, which is actually a pretty easy thing to make as well. Just make the regular ones. You don't need to make anything hard. So just some iron nuggets, a piece of glass, and some iron and redstone. Nothing crazy. Take your servo, right-click on it, and click on the redstone, and turn it on. This can turn it off. You can put a redstone signal, so you could turn these on and off at will, but I personally just kind of leave them sitting here. You could mass automate all of these if you wanted. That's one way to do it. And then the other thing that you can do is just put a chest here. So the next piece of all of this is I'm going to get this all wrapped together in one system, which is why it's all cored out underneath. But this is really the basic setup that you need for, oh, there we go. So we don't want, is this off? This is off. I did it on the wrong one. I wanted to do it on this one, but that's fine. So the reason I don't do this is because now we've got a cultivated in here, and if it takes the common and then the cultivated, then you don't really know which. I've never taken a look to find out which order it takes these in. I've never really been that interested, but you can certainly add the automation and see what happens. I mean, we could do that. Let's do it. Let's turn it on and see what happens. You'll see the bees come out, and then they'll go down and around and in. There we go. There goes the honeycomb. The honeycomb can't go back in here, so it's going to go into the chest. Perfect. 5 of them. And then, so it brought the common bee. So it brought this one in first. It can't bring the other bees in, so it's going to take the 2 commons. Now, it took this one first, so I wonder if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, this is 1 because it took the combs first. Interesting. So there we go. That's really how you automate them. So now every time that this finishes its full cycle, it's going to kick them out. It's going to go back in. Anything that doesn't stack will come in here, and then the rest will come in here. You can certainly use these by breeding, but I personally do not like doing that. I only use the automation for once I get pure bees. Once I know that I have pure bees, then I'm good to go. So I have a whole bunch of pure bees here that we're going to take one out. We're going to get our diligence here. I'm not putting these in any specific order. I'm just kind of getting them up and running so we can start producing drones again. So there we go. And this is a huge box for all of its things. The next thing that you can also do, which you should do, I don't know if I have any over here. Maybe I do. Let's see. Get some signs. I can always make some signs too. I got plenty of wood. Let's make some signs. All right, we'll just do that, and then okay. Don't have enough. All right, let's do that. And this should be enough to at least get started. So at least we have some bees or signs that we can label our bees so we know what we're looking at any one time. So these ones were diligence, right? Yes. So I just put a sign here. Diligent. There we go. Boom. Diligent bees. All right, so let's do the next one. We'll do it again. So carve out a little area. Boom, 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 boom. All right, take your item ducts, one underneath, above, and you can do different ways. You can go off the back and go around. I mean, you have 6 sides to work with, so use whatever side you think might work best for you. So where's our Apiary backpack? We're going to take the Majestic and put the Majestic Queen in here. Let's move you. And the signs. All right. There we go. And the sign. Majestic. There we go. So that's pretty much how you do it. There you go. Really nice. Pretty easy to do. Nothing too difficult. We can take a look at this guy, though. What do we have here? We've got a common and a cultivated. See? So it's got a cultivated piece, but it did take 2 of the common ones instead of the other 2 bees that were there. A cultivated and a meadows. So that's really good. But that's nice. Okay. That's pretty much how you take care of it. And I think I'll have to move this fence out one so we can put these on I'm putting them all on the right side. Now, what we will do is, since right below here is, I've only got it too deep or too thick here. So right above us are the bees. So we just have to dig down like 2, and then we're in the bottom. Oh, I guess it's 3. So that's okay. Doesn't really matter. We'll probably bring that all up. Oh yeah, let's put a sign in there. That's fun. That's silly. All right, let's do this. There we go. All right, so as you can see, my farm is almost up. I have not supplied it with any more wood or dirt to continue on, because I'm just letting it run its course, because we're going to move it, and we're going to do this probably in the next episode. I'm also going to move these tanks as well. I don't know where yet. That's why they haven't moved, but I've been busy. And let's take a look. So, look at that. I found a new home for the farms. There we go. Very cool. So, really neat is I linked this all up. I cored this all out. We're going to put the farm in here. It's a 5x5, so this is a 7x7 ring, so it's not going to take up this whole spot, but it'll take up this amount of space, really. So you can kind of see that. Whoops. Oh man, really? I'm out of space? Okay. Perfect. All right, so yeah, I just linked this all up. So I've got power over here, and we've got an item duct. So this can all run all the way back. Very cool. So I got a little thing here. Here's the edge of our base, and those all run back into here. And then if we go around, you guys can kind of see how I link it in. So the item duct goes up, and then the other ones come right here. So I've linked it right into our power, and everything is all good to go. Pretty nice, right? And we'll talk about it. Oh yeah, we got to talk about that too. Totally forgot. You guys probably noticed it at the beginning when I came flying in here, but so yes, then there's a hole right here, which I'm going to link this up to this and replace all of this cable or item ducts with the dense cable ducts. I just haven't done it yet because we haven't moved the farm. So we'll do that in the next episode. But last episode we were talking about trying to get an alveary to work underground. It does not work underground. However, I did notice if you do this, it will work underground. So that's kind of neat. So that kind of answered our question for us, whether or not they work underground. I'm expecting that they will work. Now, I wonder if there's a trapdoor there, if it'll still work, or if it's glass, if that'll still work. Which, that could be used to our advantage. If it's glass, it might work. The other piece of the equation is then we can also breed in the traits for cave dwelling, which might be something if we're going to have our alvearies underground. So we have a few options, I think. Not totally dead out of the water, right? So that kind of works. But yeah, I tested that. I brought one over here and took a look at it and figured, oh, let's see if it'll work. And we'll talk about how these are built as well coming up. But all right, I think I've given you all the updates. I think. I'm not quite sure exactly. If I missed something, we'll cover it in the next episode. Or if you have questions, make sure to leave them down below. That'd be great. Oh, let's take our mask off. That's rude. I can't. Oh, man. Let's do this. There we go. Oh, yeah, baby. All right, friends. Well, we got a lot done. I cored out the base. We moved and cored out some areas for the farms, which are going to be moving, and then I'll clear up that space. And we started automation of our bees. So I hope you guys are following along. I hope you guys got your bees going. That's really great. If you do have any questions, leave them down in the comments below, and I'd be happy to help. If you want to see something, or if you have some ideas about the base, I'd love to hear them as well. As always, please like and share on your favorite social media. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Take care and be safe.